Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm Martin Wenzel. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Just finishing up a 34-hour reset. I ran out of time, and if you saw in the last video, I've been keeping logs, and so ran out of 70 hours. Gonna try to do it better this week. Just got done with a 34-hour reset, so we have a fresh 70-hour week ahead of us, 70-hour clock ahead of us. We have 14 hours to go today. Once we get to 6:15 a.m., we'll be able to take off. Let's check the truck, make sure everything's working right now. See the blinkers working. Actually, I have to turn the engine on to do the, well, I think that, there you go, I got the blinker. Got that one, brake lights. You can hear the air brakes. Everything else looks pretty good. You do a pre-trip, you're gonna be checking all the stuff on the trailer, checking under here, checking the springs and all that kind of stuff. Get a good look at this National Freightways trailer. We Move America, fictional company out of Los Angeles, California. Driving the T680, truck 2026. Let's get inside, let's get the engine started and warmed up. So I've been sitting in Jacksonville. I think my last delivery was in Kingsland, Georgia, and there really weren't any jobs out of there. Plus I only had 45 minutes left on my 70-hour clock, and then Sunday had no time on the clock coming back with recaps, and so just shut it down, or drove back to Jacksonville, used that 45 minutes, or actually I had more. I think I had an hour and a half, 2 hours left. Used about an hour and a half, get back to Jacksonville, and did a 34-hour reset. So now I have a fresh clock. We're ready to go. We're going to be driving over to... I'm not sure exactly where we're going to be going here. Let's see. I can't tell what company it is we're going to, but we're going to be picking up some sugar, and we're going to be taking it to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I believe the date is April 22nd, 2019 is what we're going to be going with for the date. It is a Monday, week 32. And let's get going. Wow, the frame rate is really rotten right there. I wonder if that's because the reshade is actually showing up on the video and it's recording it now. Last time I'm not sure. It might have shown up on the last video, the reshade that I linked in the description below. Oh, there you go, the frame rate's getting better. We are out here in coast-to-coast land, Jacksonville, Florida. Obviously not part of the SCS map, which is primarily on the west coast right now. But driving out here was pretty cool, seeing the amazing work that's been done. I know I've done some videos of the Deep South, going through Mississippi, Georgia, and I think I took I'm trying to think what interstate I took, but I did a lot of driving through Louisiana, and Louisiana looks really good. Mileage signs everywhere. Guide signs, like the little blue signs that tell you there's what gas stations and food there is at exits. Even Kansas was pretty good driving through there, so looking forward to South Carolina. It looks like there's a lot more up in South Carolina now with this latest update of Coast to Coast. So we're going to be heading up to Myrtle Beach. And here we are at Walmart, doing a lot of Walmart runs, but you're going to get that when you're driving a box trailer. Alright, cargo market. And we have our sugar. We're going to be taking it to Myrtle Beach. Alright, it's going to be right over here. All right, we are finally loaded. Took a while to get into that spot. Pretty poor backing on my part. Didn't even get in the spot really that great. That is a terrible backing job. Still working on it. But we should be good to go now. Hoping we can get some pressure in this air brake system. And we've got 6.5 hours to get to Myrtle Beach. And now we gotta kind of do a little dance here to get out of here. Very tight dock. I love the painted decals on the road, or the painted shields on the highways over here. Nice touch by Coast to Coast to include those. So we're going north on I-95. Truck trailers, use the right lane. Let's hope we don't have to get pulled into this way station. And we're going to have to. We're going to be pretty heavy. We're hauling, what, 43,000 pounds of sugar. So we'll be about, I'm going to say 75,000 pounds. No, that'd be 71. Probably do my math pretty poorly. Actually, it'd be 81. Might be overweight. I was weighed on the way down to Jacksonville, and I think empty we were about 38,000. So let's see what they get us at here. Hopefully you don't get any fines. Wow, 79,695 pounds. Just under the limit of 80,000, 40 tons. Caught speeding. Right here at the Georgia border. As we go across, we'll be going across the St. Mary's River. And I do love it when Coast to Coast has added in the Mississippi and the various rivers we actually go over here in the east. There are some areas, I don't know if they've added it to I-40 when you're going into Memphis yet, going over the Mississippi there, but they do on the 10, and they do out here on the 95 going over the St. Mary's River into Georgia. Welcome to Georgia. So, what it'd be probably Saturday, I was up in Kingsland, and now we got a big accident up here. In fact, the road might be completely shut down. And it is. Okay. So, what we're gonna do... This is something they've added, and it's bit me in the butt a few times. I've had to actually drop jobs because there's just no way to get to the spot where we need to go due to road closures like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually just get back on the ramp right there next to us. We're going to have to do a U-turn. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my half-hour break here now. We'll go to the truck stop. We'll grab a bite to eat. Take a bathroom break. And then we'll just flip around and bypass the bridge. Well, we're actually past the bridge, but luckily the closure is right between the two exits. So you get to, or the exit and the entrance. So we get to exit. Between the exit and the entrance in this configuration. And let's just go grab some gas while we're at it. Just top it off. Yeah, installed all the different sign packs and real logos lately, so we got some really cool billboards out here. Taco Bell, that's making me a little bit hungry. Before you judge me on that, I haven't had Taco Bell in years. Remember, I live over in China. We don't have Taco Bell over here. I make tacos pretty regularly, actually, over here when I get the chance. When I can find some good cheese, tortillas. Alright, seatbelt secured. Let's get going. Actually don't have to take the half-hour break right here, but we're going to do it anyway since we're already off the freeway. Just come over here and find a parking spot. Alright, I'll see you back here probably about 9:30. Alright, it's 9:30. Let's get back on the freeway. You can see over there it's looks like a truck accident. So I'll throw up the log and show you what I got for the log right here. Pulled in here about 9 a.m. for breakfast to Kingsland, Georgia. And now we're going back onto the drive clock. 9:30. So remember, we have 14 hours starting at 6 a.m. this morning, so we can drive until 8 p.m. We can drive 11 hours within that time. But we also have a 70-hour overall weekly clock, 8-day clock. And so we're going to be shooting to just drive and be on duty for about 8.5 hours a day to keep that clock rolling nicely. Always worried about those cars turning into me. See a lot of people getting off the freeway here. Saw a few cars before just kind of sitting there hoping that the accident would move. It's not going to move. You're going to have to get off the freeway. Right, let's focus on the road so we don't get in an accident ourselves. Back on the road. So here's something I've noticed in this latest Coast to Coast. Got these nice rocks in the middle of in the medians for the highways. Just adds a little bit of character. A lot of trees, a lot of fencing. Definitely in Louisiana, they had a lot of rocks, a lot of power lines. So Coast to Coast definitely shaping up, especially in the southwest or the southeast. Really hoping someone will turn their attentions to the Midwest, to the central part of the United States. And I think eastern United States is ripe for developing Coast to Coast because it's somewhere where SES is not going to put out a DLC anytime soon. Washington's in the pipeline right now. I'm sure it'll come out probably this summer. I'm guessing it'll come out this summer, hopefully. Then after that, I'm going to think Utah, maybe Idaho, Colorado. Then they might tackle Texas. It's going to be a long time before they even get to the Mississippi. It's going to be a couple more years before they get to the Mississippi. So anything on the eastern side of the Mississippi where there's a lot of roads, a lot of things you can do. You can already see it on the American Truck Simulator map when you go in game, that in the Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma area on Coast to Coast, there are so many highways. And those are just, if you go on Google Maps, you zoom out to the same position where you see all the highways that are represented in game in New Mexico and Arizona. Those are all the same level kind of highways. Just so many of them, so many towns, so many more of a grid work of highways, more so than in the desert west. So it's going to be really interesting as SCS gets to that point and starts developing those states. But Coast to Coast, these guys are starting to pick up the pace. I think more and more guys are getting involved. There's more and more assets. And it's getting more enjoyable to drive in certain areas of Coast to Coast. Like right now, this used to be a road that would have just been kind of barren texture. But now you've got guardrails both sides. There's houses. You can see houses and ranches off to the side, farms, power lines, trees, different trees. And probably by next year, this will be an area I'll be pretty familiar with driving for Millis Transfer. Hopefully, fingers crossed, get my CDL license, or CDL, A license, commercial driver's license, drive a big 18-wheeler, haul a 53-foot trailer. Millis Transfer does a lot of beer runs, beer, drinks, Mike's Hard, lemonade, that kind of stuff. And so they tend to be on the heavier side too. A lot of having to, I've been reading, they have to do a lot of readjustments to their loads so that they got the proper weights on the axles and everything. So that'll be a steep learning curve, but what better way to learn than to learn with a heavy truck? Because then you go out there and you go to a different company where maybe they have lighter kind of loads, where they're moving paper or they're moving toilet paper, lighter things, and you'll have that experience of hauling heavier things and having to worry about the weigh stations and being overweight and that sort of thing. So that's my goal. And Millis is primarily ships, operates on the east of the Mississippi, with a few runs over in Oklahoma, Washington, Louisiana. As we are now coming into South Carolina, all these rivers. Slow trucks use the right lane. The people of South Carolina welcome you. Mark Coates Memorial Freeway, Florence, is 166 miles. And you can see there's just so many more trees, so much more to look at. We got some mileage signs here. It looks like they're going to go South Carolina. Every 5 miles is going to be a mileage sign in-game. Maybe every 10. Just started with mile 5. But I love these rest area signs. Okay, got some traffic up ahead. We got load up here. Yeah, this area is beautifully done. Taking a lot of the textures and stuff from the recent Oregon DLC, it looks like. More grass textures, trees. And I gotta pull into another way station, so let's get in front of this Werner truck. Way station is way up there, it looks like. Getting a lot of rain recently with pretty sunny skies. Don't know what the deal is with that. I got some cars pulling into this way station. Where do I gotta go? I think I can go at either one. Actually, 2 scales. Got a helicopter ahead of us. Pretty interesting little area here. Alright, let's get weighed. Alright, that's kind of strange how our our weight went up. So at that Florida-Georgia border station, it was 79,000 something, and now it's 80,000 something, even though I burned off fuel. I take that back. We actually did take fuel when we went into Georgia, didn't we? At Kingsland. That's what it is. So right there, there's an error that in real life would cost me some money. You gotta remember that fuel has weight to it. Fuel has mass. And you fill your tanks up, and you're that close to the limit, you're actually gonna go over. Which we did here. So, oops. There's the issue again. Traffic still, they haven't fixed the traffic, making them merge over, making traffic be very smart and give us this entrance lane. So we're gonna be sitting here for a little bit. Come on, guy. You gotta, this is the problem, is you just gotta kind of stick your nose out at some point because they're never gonna move over. Now I've done this before. And you do get, they will drive into you if you get out far enough, like here. All right, now you can go. Is Werner gonna go? We're behind another Werner. I feel like he drove through without weighing. I think that's the same truck we passed. Well, we're just gonna drive around him. Not the most real of situations. see how much fuel we burned off this time. We were overweight that last one. We're hitting all of them because we're right on the 80,000 pound limit. And so they're going to want us to come in, get scaled at each one of these. And we're still overweight. I do wonder if that's something American Truck Simulator is at some point going to simulate, add into the system. Penalties for being overweight. Obviously with a heavy transport or something, you'd have special jobs. You'd get a permit or something and you'd be able to bypass that overweight situation with the proper permit. But for just regular stuff like hauling sugar here in a 53-foot unmarked trailer, Charleston, South Carolina, birthplace of the rebellion. And simply by virtue of its location during the last year of the Civil War, avoided complete destruction by Sherman's forces as he burned through South Carolina. Though many would have preferred to have seen Charleston itself burned to the ground. The only place to suffer that fate was, well, not the only place, but one of the main places to suffer that fate was Augusta. Well, not Augusta, Columbia. Columbia is the capital of Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, it's actually going to be a long day. I don't know how much, once we do all the logs, and you guys actually will see the logs, but I'm going to do the logs after we do the whole trip. We'll see how much drive time I did today, because right now it's going to show us getting there at 4 p.m. So it's going to be a long day, about 10 hours. Alright, what's going on here? So we got a good quick start there on that green light. Trucks in front of us went before the light even turned green, and then immediately they slam on their brakes on the other side of it. We're on US 17 headed to Myrtle Beach, about an hour 40 minutes before we get to our drop-off location. This area just looks, it just feels like I'm in the South. It feels like I'm in just rural America. It feels like I'm, you know, you got the trees, you got the power lines, you got the divided highway. You know, they talked about how when New Mexico came out, they made a big fuss over it being real America. It's like, this is real America when you start just getting onto these kind of dusty, you know, 4-lane highways, got power lines crossing them, trees on both sides. Nothing special, just some, you know, houses every once in a while. All right, a new Walbert. Here we are in Myrtle Beach. There's Myrtle Beach itself. Yeah, that's nice. Is that Myrtle Beach welcomes us? Oh, that's nice. A lot of cities don't welcome us truckers anymore. Like how this goes to Portland Cargo Central. That's where we're shipping to. It's gonna be pretty cool when American Truck Simulator gets the size, when they get all the United States in there, they're gonna have so many different businesses, because every DLC they put out, they add a few more businesses. Even in this coast to coast, I saw like I think there was like Gander Outdoors or Ducks Unlimited, something like that over here. So even modders are adding custom industries to deliver to. Well, this is a pretty little road here. Again, the care taken by whoever set up this place. We got an airport ahead of us. You can see the control tower and this beautiful little boulevard. I haven't seen anything like this anywhere else in the game as well, so this is all pretty unique to this coast to coast. Very good job. Very good job. Just keeps getting better and better. Still got a long way to go before it matches pro mods over there with Euro Truck Simulator, but the areas where it's done well, it's quality. Pretty good quality. We're gonna be taking a left turn up here. Logistic area, left lane, terminals, right lane. So we're going right to the airport and seaport. A whole slew of stuff right over here. I think we're gonna have to yeah, I'm wondering if some of these assets are taken from Euro Truck Simulator. Right here, Portland Cargo Central, and they even have the animated gates that came with Oregon, and we just have to pull straight in, so that's gonna be very nice for us. Alright, let's get this trailer unloaded. Alright, 353 miles, 10 hours, 66 gallons of fuel consumed, and we're still just getting a little bit of experience, but $1,279. And we're gonna call this a day, so let's go find a place to rest. Alright, the bad news is there's nowhere to really rest here in Myrtle Beach. It's quite disappointing, so we're going to just drive right down the road back to Georgetown and stop at a hotel there. It's going to eat up a half an hour of our drive clock and our duty time that I really don't want to eat up, but we're left with no choice. So enjoy the sights enjoy the sights. And the drive back to Georgetown the way we came. Alright, here's where we're gonna stop for the night. Alright, let's look at the log here right at the end of the day. We started at 6 a.m. Eastern, but it'll be 4 a.m. Mountain Time in Jacksonville. We did the pre-trip, then we drove over to Walmart, got loaded up, and got driving at 5:45, 7:45 Eastern. Got to Kingsland, ran into that accident, got off the freeway around 9 a.m. That's gonna be 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Got back on, took our half-hour break there, breakfast, and then drove all the way to Myrtle Beach, unloaded, and then we had to drive down to Georgetown, and we put in 9.75 hours of driving, 9 hours, 45 minutes, and 45 minutes of on-duty time. So we actually worked 10 and a half hours today, but only got 388 miles in, so not the best day. I'm Martin Wenzel. This is American Truck Simulator, coast to coast. Check your six, check your pins. Happy gaming, happy trucking. Take care. See you next time.